Hello everyone, it's MA. I'm going to do a VR to the mid-year tarot tag that Chanel started, and I first saw, I think Laura at Aquamarine 18 was the first one I saw, and I'm dipping back into TarotTube to see how it goes. So my edition is going to be the low buy no buy edition, although looking at the stack, I think almost everything is an indie deck just by coincidence. Yeah, I'm gonna dive in and let's get started. The deck I have used the most this year is this 1909 Roses and Lilies facsimile copy that from CS Tarot on Make Playing Cards, Conrad Stain did. I love the backs. It's a very soft, more muted coloration. I also find that the line work is a little crisper, especially when it comes to people's faces. I think in the later vintage versions, the facial expressions get a little blurred, the lines get a little wider, and I used this when I say I've used this the most, I used this for my daily single card pulls for over 5 months in a row, and then I've recently switched to doing a different deck for like 2 weeks at a time. So I probably used it, how many days? I'll do the math, 150 times so far this year. And this was one where I really enjoyed that every time I pulled the card, I would kind of challenge myself to read it a little differently. And I really like it. So yeah, that's the one I've used the most. A new deck that came in, and there haven't been many, and I think I showed this a little earlier in there. I had back the Embroidered Graveyard Oracle. It did take some time. We know these things happen with Kickstarters, and you know, I will say something about that. People's conduct in the comments on some of these Kickstarters, when you know the creator is giving updates and saying the printer did something wrong and I have to get it reprinted. Wow. It is a real challenge to maintain your faith in humanity, even in that forum. Some of the entitlement and just nastiness is just so uncalled for. So, oh man, everyone just please understand what you're getting yourself in for. We're all excited to get the decks, but there's no need for that, is there? Yeah, so I mean, I haven't used this very much. It has a certain intended purpose regarding, you know, communication with the beyond, which I am not really subscribing to use it for, but I have paired it accidentally. I happened to use it with the Enchanted Tarot, and that was delightful. And I'm just finding that when I use it with a tarot deck, the messages and the images on the cards just really have a lot of synchronicity and resonate pretty well. So I am doing that. Question number 3, the most anticipated deck released this year. I haven't really followed many of what's coming and what's not coming, but I had backed the Game Marseille deck last year and was delighted when it arrived. And I had made a few forays into Marseille and not really succeeded. And as a backer, thank you, Charlie did do a online class on Marseille, and that really helped me get a foothold, and I just really enjoy it. I love the colors, I love the backs, and yeah, I feel like I'm on a pathway to using pip decks more than I have been before, and I do enjoy that. It's a whole different kind of reading, and it's good. Oh, by the way, the ink on my hands is Rohrer and Klingner Sulfurino. Couldn't get it to come off. The biggest disappointment. Okay, I'm gonna say I do not have disappointment in a deck. I have disappointment in myself because, and okay, now don't get mad at me, I'm gonna flash some out of print decks, because my general disappointment in myself is, okay, You know, a few years ago when we were in lockdown, I was backing some Kickstarters, and what has come out of my mouth on my channel for years is, oh, I'm not collecting decks to collect them, I'm collecting them to use them. Well, as a few things have gone out of print, these three in particular, the Blanco, the Yokai Yochi, the Blood Moon, and especially my Tarot of the Crone, as they've gone out of print, I've become a little precious with them, and I haven't been using them. And I think part of that is, as I've narrowed my collection down, I'm tending to keep decks that aren't all alike. So I have decks that would take me more time to get to understand reading with them, but I am noticing the ones that are more out of print, that I see people selling for more money, I've gotten a little skittish about using them. And so I'm just disappointed in myself that I kind of backtracked on my original commitment that I'm only keeping decks that I use, and I'm not sure where I'll go next with that, but that's something I need to work out. Okay, biggest surprise. This is another indie deck. I don't know if it's available anymore. It was from a creator on Etsy named Redfish Tarot. It's the Modern Mary Oracle. This is not imagery that I would ordinarily be working with. I have some spiritual trauma, let's say, around this kind of imagery, but I, in many ways, have been trying to push myself through discomfort, and also because of the stuff that's been going on with my mom, going deeper and deeper into dementia. I have been doing a lot of grief readings, and this one seemed like it would resonate with some of the decks I was using, and anyway, it did. And I think what is surprising me about it is how well it is paired with some other decks that I never meant to use it with. It goes really well with the Spirit Keepers Tarot, and some others that I've used it with. This card in particular, this magic card, came up in a reading, and it still just was such a, you know, smack in the head, you know, thing to come up. And I like that the keywords are kind of varied. They're not all based in what one might expect. I love warrior, princess, devotion, peace, guidance. So it did surprise me how much I actually enjoy using it. And it is one that I kind of sometimes crave to pull out of the drawer and match with whatever I happen to be using that day. Yep. So that was number 5, my surprise. My deck crush that I'm currently in love with. Okay, oddly enough, now this is a deck I've probably had for 4 or 5 years. I brought this in pretty early in my tarot work and had no idea what to do with it, but I kind of have a crush on this deck right now. We're kind of like literally walking around holding hands. It's in my bag a lot, and sometimes it's in my bed. Is that weird? I don't know. But, you know, I might pull a card at night and just use my bedside journal, pull one card, just write about that archetype randomly, write about the image, fill a couple of pages, and then go look at the book and go through, like, sometimes there's some suggested either further reading or music to listen to or art to go look at, and I've just been enjoying using that slowly. And also the writers group I'm in, someone was asking about archetypes, and we've been having a lot of conversations about archetypes. So I definitely, like, I have a crush on this. I have a crush on these cards right now. And I mentioned this in my, I just really do love the artwork on these cards. I know, like, you can't shuffle it, it's unwieldy. I don't care, I love it anyway. So that's how you know it's true love. Favorite tarot card, I'll say a favorite card. It's summer, and I do not like summer. I'm really, really trying this year to lean into it, but I have what I believe is really reverse seasonal affective disorder. I get a lot of insomnia and anxiety. And of course, the heat and the implications of that heat on what's happening with our planet just is, it's not a good combination for me, but I'm trying to keep it positive. So one of my favorite sun cards is this one from the Outsider Tarot. And all the majors in that deck are experiential, meaning you are the person that's in the deck. There's not a person, there's an outfit or a situation for you to step into. And I just get a lot of joy from this card. I can feel riding my bicycle around the block over and over and over again and feeling my little pigtails blow in the wind. I didn't have a little dog to follow, but I just really like this card. So I'm keeping this out to kind of keep checking myself and say, nope, there's still joy. You may not feel at your peak, but there's still joy. Check in with the joy. So that's that one. A deck that makes me happy is this Tarot Ultraviolet. Sorry, another indie deck. I know, I don't know what, I didn't mean to do that. This one, first of all, the happy little bag. It's big and chunky. Another one, like, can I shuffle it? No. But the cards are so graphically bold and quirky, and in the background, like the native plants are from Canada for the most part. Look at the, I mean, this devil card, come on. It just really makes me happy. I love the, all the knights, the Geeds are on, you know, one's on a skateboard, one's on roller skates. Some of the, you know, depictions are a little hard to track the standard meaning through, but it's mostly Smith Waite. Yeah, so that one just makes me happy. It's colorful, it's graphically bold, and I'm into it. And again, because I'm diving through the cupboards here, you notice I really haven't shown much that's a recent deck at all. One of my most beautiful decks, which I haven't read with this much and I've started to use more recently, is the Brady Tarot. And I just saw, I think Cosmic Creeper had this in their summer decks list and mentioned that there's another edition coming out. This is just, I mean, what a labor of love the creation of this art was. It's, every card is stunning. And, you know, the guidebook, Rachel Pollack contributed to the guidebook, and there's information about what the animals are and what's being shown. I don't know. I mean, the keywords, ideally, I'm not really into the keywords. Sometimes if I pull a card, I'll kind of try not to look at it at first. But it's just such a thing of beauty and such a work of art that sometimes I'll just take it out and look at the cards lately. Yeah, so not feeling like that's a very summary pick, but I'm still into it. Okay, getting to the ending here. Deck I want by the end of the year. Well, my wish list is empty. There are 2 Kickstarters I backed. One I got the shipping notice for, so that's the Peculiar Pathways Tarot by Lennox. So that should be showing up by the end of the week, hopefully. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that will be here very soon. And then by the end of the year, hopefully the Cedar McLeod's Magic Pantry will be out. I have been watching that art be created over the course of many, many years. It started as a tarot, then became an oracle, then went back to being a tarot, and I think the art is now finished by the time the Kickstarter went through. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I love watching Cedar paint when they post reels on Instagram, and yeah, looking forward to that. Deck I haven't used yet and want to work with. So I haven't used this deck never, but I haven't touched it in quite a while, and this is the Green Glyphs Lenormand. I am interested in Lenormand. I am not interested in most of the decks. I really liked the aesthetics of this one, the art style, I'm getting a little bit of arts and crafts movement vibe from it. It's simplistic. I don't know. I just really enjoy the art. I enjoy that there's, I think, some non-gendered options for the man and woman card. So I intend to get back to this. I know Logan over at Larkin Legend was doing a great series on like Lenormand classes almost on their YouTube channel, and I kind of fell off following through with watching that as my overall viewing declined. But blah, blah, blah. Yep, so I've got this one out. It's just such a sweet little deck. Favorite video I've made, I'm just going to opt out of that completely because I've been out of the game and I'm not really that interested in what I've created anyway. Is that weird? I don't know. But the big news is the phone, the camera is not held up by empty cat litter boxes anymore. I got an actual clip-on tripod, so you may see the occasional shaking around. And yeah, that's that. So I'm gonna go watch more of these VRs. It was nice to meet Chanel's channel through the few VRs that I came across first. And have a great summer, everyone. And then we'll see what happens when it's time for the end of the year check-in. Bye, everybody.